Snehal ma'am, please start.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure to welcome you all on the sixth day of 11 days online soft skills short-term course in print, organized in collaboration with six prestigious colleges. I am Mrs. Nehal Rakunde, an assistant professor of Dr. Gulhane Prerna College of Commerce, Science and Arts, Nagpur, delighted to be your host today for this exciting online event. This course is a joint effort by Manoharrao Kamdi Mahavidyalaya Nagpur, Seth Kesarimal Porwal College of Arts, Science and Commerce Kamptee, Dr. Gulhane Prerna College of Commerce, Science and Arts Nagpur, Mahatma Gandhi College Parseoni, Ravindranath Tagore College Dongargaon, and Orange City Institute of Management Nagpur. Dear students, the short-term course is a transformative learning journey together, focusing on vital soft skills that will not only enrich your personal growth but also enhance your professional development. Before we kick things off, I would like to take a moment to thank all six colleges for making this course possible. This collaborative effort to bring together students from various backgrounds is a testament to their commitment to holistic education. Here, I would like to thank Professor Dr. Usha Sakure Madam, Professor Dr. Vinay Chauhan Sir, Professor Dr. Praveen Joshi Sir, Dr. Lokchan Jadhav Sir, Dr. Jan Gangareddy Sir, and Dr. Anil Sharma Sir for their generous and unwavering support for organizing this platform. I would like to thank the coordinators of the course, Dr. Meenakshi Vasnik Madam, Dr. Renuka Roy Madam, Professor Pramod Gurde Sir, Assistant Professor Nasir Pathan Sir, and Rajni Kumar Madam for their hard work and dedication for conducting this course. Humor plays a significant role in developing personality. It fosters resilience by providing a healthy coping mechanism for stress and adversity. A good sense of humor can enhance social skills, making individuals more approachable and improving interpersonal relationships. It encourages a positive outlook on life, contributing to optimism and emotional well being. How humor is vital in developing one's personality. To know this and many other related aspects, today we have with us a phenomenal personality, Dr. Suchita Marathe Madam. Madam is addressing on the topic the role of humor in personality development. Now it is my distinct honor to introduce our resource person. Dr. Suchita Marathe Madam is a professor in English and vice principal at Srimati Binzani Mahila Mahavidyalaya Nagpur. She has completed her master's in English literature in 1997 and stood second in order of merit and received a silver medal from RTM Nagpur University Nagpur. She has a rich teaching experience of 25 years. She has published around 30 research articles in souvenirs, journals, and edited books. A creative writer, she has a number of write-ups, poems, and short stories published in newspapers and blogs. She has published a book of 25 write-ups from the Casserole of Life and a collection of short stories, The Battle of Troy, and other stories. She has delivered a number of lectures as a resource person in student-centric activities organized by institutions. Presently, she is the member of the Board of Studies English, RTM Nagpur University, Nagpur. Dr. Suchita Madam believes that learning should not be restricted to our four walls, but should be a continuous process with the proper give and take from teachers, parents, and students. Absolutely well said, ma'am. We are truly privileged to have with us such an eminent personality who will share her expertise views today. Now, to begin today's session, I would like to invite and request Dr. Suchita ma'am to enlighten our students. I wish a warm virtual welcome to you, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you so much for your warm welcome, Rakundi Madam. And it's a very nice initiative which you all are undertaking, six colleges coming together under one umbrella and trying to forge ahead the process of personality development. Because in the new education scenario, what we want is that individuals should be ready for the job market. And not just education, formal education is enough, but we have to shape up their personality. We have to prepare them for the job markets. And you're providing a wonderful platform for the students. And this is very good that these videos would be available on YouTube for the students to go back and refer to them again and again. Here, I would like to congratulate all the organizing team of Manoharrao, Kamdi Mahavidyalaya, Seth, Kesarimal Porwal College of Arts, Science and Commerce, SC Gulhane, Prerna College of Commerce, Science and Arts, Mahatma Gandhi College, Parseoni, Ravindranath Tagore College, Dongargaon, Orange City Institute of Management, Nagpur, the head of the institutions, their coordinators, all the hard work which has gone into making the series viable and implementing it. It needs a great hard work. And I would like to congratulate all of them. And I have seen all the topics, they are very interesting. And when I would like to particularly thank Usha Sakure madam for contacting me and providing me with a list of themes so that I could select from. And I selected the topic for today, the role of humor in personality development. Can we begin, madam? Can I share my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead. Is the
Yeah, it
screen
is
visible?
visible. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah. So, good morning, dear students, teachers, and staff members, and the team, organizing team who have joined here for this day six of imprint presentation series. And as I said, the themes are very, very varied and interesting. And today I have been asked, or I have chosen the topic, role of humor in development of personality. Now, like, let's begin from the beginning. Now, what is a personality? See, humor, is very, very important aspect of a personality. But then first, let us understand what is a personality. Like, there is a physical personality, like he is fat, he's short, he's tall, like these are all the physical attributes of personality. But then there are other aspects. What are they? Personality refers to the unique and enduring pattern of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that distinguish an individual, influencing how they interact with the world and others. Like when we come into a room or when we are introduced to anyone for the first time, it is not just the physical aspects that are observed, but the other aspects too are observed, like the way we talk, the way the kind of facial expression we have, the way we stand, the confidence we have. So all these are there and for talk. That is also important. Now, what decides the content? Like the kind of personality we have. What are our thoughts? Whether they are positive, whether they are negative. How are our feelings? Whether we have kind feeling towards others, whether we have empathy, sympathy for others, how we behave, whether we show manners and etiquette during our personality, all these are reflected from our personality. So dear children, students, when you work on your personality, it is not just the physical aspect. Of course, it gives the first impression, like the physical aspect, but then when you open your mouth, what kind of things, content come out from your mouth, that is also important. And each one of us, each one of us has a unique personality because we come from different backgrounds, we go to different colleges, we take different courses, our reading materials are different, our peer groups are different, the kind of relatives we have are different. So these all influence and give shape to our personality. Like again, you are taking part in this series, you're going through all these lectures. This is again going to help you shape your personality. Every day is a learning day for us, and every day we are trying to shape our personality in a better way, in a very positive way. And how is personality is enduring? Like enduring, that means sustainable. Like every day it is the same, but the basic thing, the foundation of a personality is the same. Like I am the same every day. I may change, but my basic foundation is the same. I may not change drastically, which happens in cinemas or movies, that one person is a villain and in another day he becomes a very good person. That doesn't happen in normal life. The basic foundation of a personality, that remains the same. Now, this decides how we interact with the world, like how, when, what are our thoughts, what are our feelings, how is our behavior. This gives an impression to the people around us. This decides how our social behavior is. This decides how we interact with people at the workplace. Yes. So personality is what make each person different, and it tends to remain relatively stable over time. So I hope you've understood what is a personality. It is different in each person. It gives each person its unique identity, and it remains stable over a period of time. Like you may see in these smileys that one is an academician, he likes to study, one is an affectionate person, one is very calm and composed in any situation, one is very confident, one is very cool, in any situation. He doesn't take any stress, easygoing, enthusiastic, very bubbly, like deciding things, planning things, very emotional, to be a little bit funny, little bit humorous, then gentle and strict. Now, the psychologists have decided the Big Five model, also known as the Five model, describes personality using five broad dimensions. Now, let us learn what is this big five model, because broadly they have divided personality into these compartments. Like one is, to start with, openness. This trait encompasses imagination, intellect, and a tendency to appreciate new experiences. Now, openness, this word itself suggests that you're open to things. Like when you're open, when you don't have any barriers, when you don't have any bias, anything, you have a great imagination, your intellect works because it is in a stress free environment, appreciate new experiences. You're open to experiences. You just don't want to live in your comfort zone, but you want to experience new experiences. That is an open personality. You may have met so many people. You may have teachers who are like that. You may have your parents, you may have your relatives, or you may have one such personality from your friends. Now, conscientiousness. This is another second type of personality which we have to learn. This trait reflects a person's tendency to be organized, detail oriented, and responsible. Yes. Now, this kind of personality, they're always ordering things. Like, I had been to one friend's house, her mother, I won't name her, but then the moment, you put your cup down, that will be taken and then washed and then cleaned and then this, and it will go to its place. Now, these are people who are very, very organized. They are very detail oriented, very responsible. and sometimes they're so responsible, like their head is always full of all those deadlines, and they'll be talking about that, and sometimes they will be taking a stress about that too. But these people are very organized. They will keep their things properly. They will be seeking details. If they are given one responsibility, they will try to fulfill it with all the details. So in an organization, for the head of the institution, if you have people like this conscientiousness, like if they have these traits, naturally the head of the institution would be very, very happy. I know all the principals here would agree. Now, the third type is extraversion. Now, this trait describes a person's sociability, assertiveness, and a general preference for social interaction. Itself tells that this person is again open minded. He likes to interact. He's not just open minded, he likes to be social. Now, here, this humor aspect comes into play because you want to become popular. You want to interact with society, you want to interact with social groups, and that to different social groups. You want to be assertive, you want to project yourself as a positive personality. आपको अपने आप को एक पॉजिटिव पर्सनालिटी करके प्रोजेक्ट करना है. आपको अलग अलग ग्रुप्स में जाकर पॉपुलर होना है. क्योंकि हम बात क्यों कर रहे हैं, हम पर्सनालिटी क्यों डेवलप करना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि डेवलप करने के बाद हम जब लोगों से मिलते हैं तब लोगों ने हमारे बारे में अच्छा बोलना चाहिए. वी शुड work on our personality. Why? Because then when we go, people will be impressed by our personality. People will be impressed by the way we talk, by the way we interact, by the way we give answers, by the way we have listening skills, because all these are important. Unless and until you listen, you won't be able to answer correctly. Unless and able you are able to answer correctly, you won't be able to make an impression. So you should have a very positive personality and general preference for social interaction. If you are, an invert person, an introvert person, it won't be possible to have a very good impression. I hope I'm not very fast. So we are now right now doing the Big Five model, which is also known as the five factor model, or it is also called as the ocean, like OCE, and then we will be doing AM. The first we have dealt with is openness. They are open to new ideas. Then conscientiousness. They are very detail oriented. They are very organized, very responsible. Then there are extraversion people who like to be social, who like to go out, who like to meet new people. They don't have any problems meeting new people. They interact very easily. So this is the third. And then we have the agreeableness. Like, as I said, like you should have a very kind, cooperative, and trusting personality. Now, these are also in demand, like you should have a person always in your life whom with you can confide with, whom you can share things with. So such people can also become popular if you're agreeable, if you can listen to people, if you can be trusting, you are cooperative, then again you can develop a positive personality. And then neuroticism. This trait describes a person's tendency to experience negative emotions such as anxiety and sadness. Now, this is a very a slight gray shade. Like these people experience negative emotions, they are anxious, they are sad, so they fall into the fifth category. And these are the five broad models described by psychologists. And I think, barring neuroticism, the humorous kind of personality can come from the first four classes. Now, the question here is, would you like to inculcate humor in your personality? Some people are there, they don't like to interact, they don't want to go into social groups. So, of course, no point for them in learning humor, isn't it? But then, if you want to go into social groups, if you want to stay in peer groups, and if you want to become popular, then, and particularly all those boy students who've joined here, if they want to become popular with girls, I think humor is the key. Would you like to inculcate humor in your personality? Yes. Our plan for the presentation is, this is what we are going to go through. To understand, you should know what is humor first. Like when you say that you want to become a humorous person, but then if you don't know what is humor, if you don't understand what is humor, if you don't know the theory of humor properly, then it would be difficult. Otherwise, you will go on a very what wrong road and you will land up somewhere else. So when you decide you want to become something, when you want to do something, then you have to chart a plan. And that plan should be foolproof. And this is the plan, like you can get a basic idea. And in this presentation, we are going to go according to this plan. So, a plan for the presentation is to first understand what is humor, then prerequisites for a humorous personality. If you want to become humorous, there are some basic things which you need. Like these things are very, very important to develop a humorous personality. And then how to consciously become humorous. These are some steps which we are going to learn. When you sit down and you decide that, yes, I want to add some humor to my personality, I want that I should be able to crack, make people smile, or I should be able to diffuse some tension in the room when I'm around, then you should learn how to become humorous. And of course, you should know when and where to use humor because otherwise you can land in trouble and you can get hit by potatoes and tomatoes. Yes. So you should know when and where to use humor because if you're using it at the wrong time, it can backfire on you. To understand the benefits of humor, yes, because outcome is important. Now everything has become outcome oriented. Nowadays when you tell children to do this, of course they ask you like, what are the benefits? What will I get? What will I gain by doing this? So here I'm giving you a few benefits of what you will gain by becoming or trying to develop a humorous personality. And then what are the things you should do to be in a permanent learning mode to become a humorous personality. So this is our plan. This is our lane number one to understand what is humor. Then lane number two is prerequisites for a humorous person. Consciously how to become humorous, to know when and where to use humor, to understand the benefits of humor, and then we will arrive at some Pratap Nagar Square or Shankar Nagar Square from all these lanes where you will get a fair idea of what a humorous person is. Now, what is humor? Let us start with our first point. As I said, we have already decided our route and our first lane, our first route is this. What is humor? Now, all of you have seen different kinds of serials, web series, and all of you love Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma. All of you like to laugh, that and gives us a boost. Whenever we are in tension, we don't want to again watch a movie which gives us tension. We want something which gives us a laugh, where we can laugh and where we can release all our tensions. If we have had a very heavy duty day, then it is always good to listen to something humorous or see something humorous or meet a pleasant personality who is humorous and you can release all the day long tensions. So humor is the funny or amusing quality in someone. So, you meet a person, he will always crack a joke or two, he will make puns on something, he will always make you laugh, he will keep you amused. Yes, it is not just every time it should be ha ha ha, like very long, big laugh, but very small jokes, very subtle things which can make you laugh and which can keep you in a very good frame. So humor is the funny, which makes you again amused or laugh, which makes you smile, if not a laughter or amusing quality in someone. And what are its synonyms? Like comedy, like you have so many comedy serials, you have so many comedy movies, web series where you go and you laugh your heart out and you feel very, very relieved. You have fun, you know. When we are in the office, we are all gloomy, serious, doing things, asking for deadlines, and sometimes, the pressure is so much that you forget to laugh. Then one day we have a picnic, and then all these people come together and say, oh my God, this is the same person who is so serious at office. And in a very different environment, you can be fun, you can be amused. So different situations in different situations you're able to get different things out of different situations. Like when you're at work, when you're doing very very serious things, of course you cannot involve humor in it. But if you're discussing something, then of course if humor is a part and parcel in between, then it relieves tensions. Now what are the related idioms to it? To humor someone. Yes, to humor someone is that means, like, this is the same word humor, but here it has a very different nuance. In the same, to humor, that means to make that person feel good. You try to reach out to that person, you try to talk to that person, and you try to humor that person. To be in good humor, that means you're in a very good mood, yes. And humorous people are always in good mood. They are always in a good humor, and they try to spread that good mood into others. Now, sense of humor again is that humorous quality in a person. If that person has a sense of humor, that person will find out something funny in all the things which he is observing, and she will try to make a comment or two. And you might have such people in your class, and even when a class is going out, they might make funny comments, and that will make you laugh, and which can also land you in trouble. Sometimes when the sense of humor or a joke or a thing is cracked at the wrong moment, it is, of course, very, very risky, and it can land you in trouble. And when you are out of humor, that means when you lose your touch with humor. Even a great batsman, he goes out of form. So sometimes, you try so much, but you become out of humor. You're so much bogged down by tensions. You're so much bogged down by the candidness of life, the realities of life, that you lose your touch with humor. But when we are going through this presentation, or when we are learning this, we are striving not to come into this zone. We don't want to be out of humor. We have to be in humor. We have to be in good mood. We have to be pleasant. We have to take life in our stride. And we have to be humorous so that we find fun in everything which we do. Even our work can be full of fun if we take it in our stride and if we have a humorous streak in our personality. So what are the prerequisites? That was our second lane, prerequisites for developing a humorous personality. Now, prerequisites. Now, if I ask you to make tea, and if I don't give you the ingredients, now it will be very difficult for you to make tea. Now, in the same way, when I say that you have to become humorous, when you have to develop a humorous personality, now what you have to do? You need certain ingredients, you need certain things. Now, to start with, if your personality is very, very serious, if you are a bookworm, if you don't know even to smile a little bit, if you are not very happy interacting with people, if you're not social, then it's very, 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 very raised to how many things, 25, raised to 25, it would be very difficult for anyone to develop a humorous personality from you. But then there are certain prerequisites. Now, what prerequisite means? That is certain things which you already should have. Now, what are those things? That is ability to laugh itself. Yes. When you start creating jokes, when you start becoming humorous, first you have to crack jokes on yourself. You shouldn't, or you cannot take a risk. Because if your joke falls flat, or if your joke is not that much, or if your joke hurts someone, it will be very, very disastrous. So the thing is, you should learn to laugh at yourself. So start with yourself. Start cracking jokes on yourself, and people love that. When you can crack jokes on yourself, then people say, oh my God, this person is very down to earth. He's full of humility. He also understands what are his weakness. Because what is the one thing we don't admit? Our weaknesses, isn't it? We'll always tell that I'm this, I'm that, I'm doing that, I'm doing that. But we never discuss what we can't do, or in which we are lagging behind. So a humorous person, finds out what are his plus points, of course. His plus point is to create humor. And what are his negative points? Even if he has a short personality, he will be cracking jokes on that. Even if he's a fat himself, a little bit obese, he will crack jokes on that. If he loves food, he will crack jokes on that. So, first prerequisite is the ability to laugh itself. You should find out what are your weaknesses, what are the things which are very glaring and which people might have observed, and you can crack jokes on that. So, first you should have the ability. So, if you have a very big ego, if you have a very high image of yourself, this you won't be able to do. So, the first requisite is you should be able to crack jokes on yourself. Being able to take things lightly, yes. If you are very serious all the time, morose, taking things, taking stress, you won't be able to crack a joke because your brain won't work like that. For a humorous personality, you should be stress free. The manager, your brain works properly when you are stress free. So, for a humorous person, he has to have a great presence of mind. He has to create puns. He has to remember certain things. He has to observe people. So, for all that, he has to be in the present, you know. And who is in the present? A person who is a very calm and composed person who doesn't take things very seriously. He might be serious about fulfilling deadlines and everything, but he also believes that he can do the work without taking stress. And this is what we have to learn, that we can do things without taking stress. And for that, you should have a stress free personality. You should be able to take things lightly. Even if you receive something bad, you should be able to crack a joke on that. Yes, even if you have received very bad marks, of course, that doesn't mean that you're not taking things, but you should be able to take things on your in your stride. Like if anything bad happens to you, if you fall, for that matter, because that's the biggest, worst nightmare we have if we fall in front of someone. So if you're able to even take that thing lightly, and if you're able to crack a joke or two on that, that means you have a very ideal personality for becoming a humorous person. Enjoy being the cause of laughter. Yes, you are the one who is the fountain of humor. Like, do you want to become that? And once in a day, you should be able to create laughter in someone. You should be able to create a smile on someone's face, and you should feel great. Yes, if you're writing a diary, you can note down that, oh, I was able to relieve that person of stress. You're doing a great social service. I mean, this is another very good facet of social service. Like if you're able to take a person out from his stress, if you're able to make that person smile, if you're able to lighten the load of his stress, you're doing a great social service, because now the psychologists are increasing. Each other person, each other student, every other student wants to take a course in psychology. Why? Because we're all going into depression. We are all taking our life so seriously. We are running in a race. We want to do this, do that, but we don't have time to sit and laugh. Yes, we don't have time to sit and laugh and enjoy a joke. So we want to become that. And if you're the one who is going to provide that, and if you're going to provide that at your workplace, free of cost, of course, people would love you. And if you are absent, people will miss you. And that is what you want. That you should be the nucleus of any gathering. You should be the one who should be the light grabber. Now, how can you become that? Of course, if you are a humorous personality, if you can crack a joke, you're one who will be the attention grabber, and you can become famous very, very easily. Now, for that, that is the next step. Educate yourself. See, education is everywhere. When you want to become an actor, actress, of course, you have to learn. You have to learn the role, the new role which has been given, from where it comes, and what not. Sometimes you have to go and live there to learn about the role. In the same way, when you want to become a humorous person, you need to educate yourself. Now, reading is one thing which you can enhance your vocabulary. When you read, you can enhance your vocabulary. And if you're already educating yourself, these are the prerequisites for developing a humorous personality. If you're in education mode, if you like to read, then you can add, you have to see humorous serials, you have to see humorous things, you have to observe. So you have to be in education mode all the time for becoming a humorous person. That doesn't mean you have to sit down and, stare at someone and make someone conscious, but you have to observe in a very subtle way what that person talks, how he stands, and you have to watch comic serials. So you have to be in the educate mode all the time. You have to learn from the experts. Again, there are shows, nowadays, there because of the internet, everything is available at the click of the button. There are so many stand-up comedians who are sharing their jokes, and there are so many, again, serials. There are so many sites where you can go and learn from the experts. There are educational videos also telling you so many things about anything under the sun. So even if you Google this, you will be able to find out so many jokes which you can learn. And of course, the jokes which are available on the internet, and you can create your own. Once your brain, starts working in that direction, you will be able to create your own jokes and enjoy conversations and experiments. Like, if you're able to enjoy social conversations, if you're able to enjoy going into social groups and meeting new people and experiment with your jokes, because that has a risk involved. Sometimes the jokes can fall flat. So you should have the risk taking ability also. So these are all the prerequisites for developing. I hope I have been clear. Again, I'll go through ability to laugh itself. If you're not able to crack jokes on yourself, you cannot become a humorous person. If you have a great ego, and if you're not able to laugh at yourself, and of course, if people answer you back, or if you crack a joke and they answer you back, you should be able to take it in your stride. Being able to take things lightly. If you're a serious person, you may not be able to become a humorous person. Let that be very clear. If you have a very morose face, if you're very serious, I don't think there is any probability, 0.01% chance of becoming a humorous person. Enjoy being the cause of laughter. If you take a high that, yes, I have been able to make people laugh today, so tomorrow again I have to do things. So if you enjoy this process of becoming a humorous person, of being a humorous person, of creating smiles on the faces of people, so if you enjoy that, like, see, I want to become humorous, and then I will go and I will learn a few jokes and I'll relate them. That is not a humorous personality. It should come from within. So if you enjoy being the cause of laughter, then that is very good. To start with, educate yourself, be in the learning mode, learn from the experts, enjoy conversations, and experiment. Now, the third slide is how to learn humor. Like, when I know something, you cannot just sit and learn in a day. Rome was not built in a day. That is the saying which we have in English. Everything happens very gradually. Even if you have a 3-day viral, and if the doctor gives you medicine and you take one pill, it just happens in advertisement that a person takes Saridon, and the next minute he feels, wow, wow, what great effect that Saridon had. And he's able to give a presentation, or is able to interact now with anyone. That only happens in advertisements. So everything is a process, and everything happens very gradually. And when you do things gradually, they are permanent. That becomes a part of your personality. So it is not just that go again. I'm telling you, it's not just that you go one day and become a humorous person. It is a learning process and it continues. You're a student and you remain a student. So that is the third point, how to learn humor. These are certain things which I've gathered. You may find so many more on the internet. Now, there's an element of surprise. Now, when you are trying to become a humorous person, again, as I said, like you learn a few jokes and you say that I'll go into that room, or today I'll go in the classroom as a teacher also, or as a student also. Like as a teacher, if I say that I'll go into the classroom and I'll tell this joke today. So, my students will say that why is madam coming and cracking jokes today? Is she out of her mind? Like, doesn't she know that she has to fulfill the syllabus? Why is she cracking jokes? Yes. So they may not find it in place. They may find it out of place. So becoming humorous is one thing, but it should have an element of surprise. Like every day, if I plan, I'll go in the class and I'll start my lecture with a joke, or every day I plan that I'll start my presentation with a joke. Even if I have read somewhere that, okay, you start your presentation with a joke, something humorous, so that people come in attention mode. But if every time I do that, people will think, okay, I know that first thing what madam is going to say is a joke. Yes. So you cannot just guess. You have to make people keep guessing, so that they're all attentive. If you are a humorous person, if you are going to say something humorous, then if it is planned, or if people know when you're going to say that, then it doesn't have that required kind of effect. So that element of surprise should be there. For that, people will be all ears, to whatever you are saying, because they know any time that joke will come and I should be able to understand it. So many times it happens that few people understand jokes and some people don't understand. So then you also, that person who doesn't understand the joke or who understands it very late, there's that thing that some all the people have laughed at the joke, and one person is there who laughs after 5 minutes. So that is the late current person to whom the joke, reaches very late, and he understands it very late and he laughs very late. So you don't want to become like that. So whenever a humorous person is around, you are attentive. So, what that humorous person should do is he should have an element of surprise. He should be able to surprise people with his humor, then and then only it can be effective. Now, if that person who is trying to be humorous, or who is humorous, who wants to learn to become humorous, if that person isn't confident, isn't happy, he won't be able to deliver. You should be confident with yourself, you should be happy with yourself, then and only, again I'm telling you, as I said in the last slide, if you are confident, then you are calm and composed. That means your brain is stress free. And what a humorous person needs is a very, very active brain. He's wherever this gray matter is there, that gray matter should be with him. If his brain leaves him, like if you go into your college without your brain active, you won't be able to become a humorous person. Now, to become humorous, you need confidence, you need to be happy. Yes, if you're not happy with yourself, if you're sad, if you're saying, oh, this happens with me all the time, I'm the one who gets all these things, I'm the one who always falls, I'm the one who always gets these kind of marks, I'm the one who a teacher punishes, all these things, whatever negative things are there, if you're the one who are like, the first thing which we have learned, like the personality. They're the thoughts. So if your thoughts are all negative, that means you're not happy. You can never be humorous. And if you're not happy, you will not be confident. You will be diffident. That is antonym of confident. You will be diffident. And if your body language is not about confidence, people won't seek you out. People won't find you impressive. People won't like to listen to you. So if you're full of confidence, then the way you crack jokes, then the way you say things will be with confidence. You will say it very audibly. Because sometimes, if you're not confident, you will not uh, articulate your thoughts. You will not articulate whatever you're trying to say in a very, very good manner. So people won't they won't be able to understand what you're trying to say. So confidence is very, very important for humor. The way you stand, the way you exude confidence, the way you take pause in between, all these make into a confident personality and a person who is able to deliver humor. Observation and cynicism, like sometimes cynic, not all the time cynic, because these are observations, cynical observations. And you have to go on observing things. You have to go on observing institutions. You have to observe people. You have to observe the things, characters which are there in the movies, in the web series, and you can make comparisons. You can use their dialogues in between, if you have memorized their dialogues and if you're able to use it wisely in between, again, wherever it goes, it fits. If it doesn't fit, it will fall flat. So, like, you have to keep a mental diary. You can, because you cannot carry, like, if a person is comparing, what he will do, he'll keep a diary, and if he has to fill in something, he'll open his diary. If he has, like, price distribution is there but the prices are yet to be decided, he'll open his diary and he will crack. But a humorous person is on the go, his mobile, he cannot carry a diary. So where he is going to keep everything? It is in his brain. And again, that brain should be very, very stress free to be in the present, so that your presence of mind works, so that your puns work, so that you remember all the jokes, you remember all the dialogues, pithy statements which you have come across, some newspaper headlines which has been funny. So all these things you have to keep a mental diary, and your brain should be able to sort it out very immediately. Again, it is a gradual process. As I said, it is doesn't happen in one day. Now you have to have a very spontaneous creativity, like element of surprise. In the same way, it should be spontaneous. Many of things, if some people are there, I have found that they keep on cracking the same jokes again and again, again and again. Every day to begin with, they will be cracking the same jokes. So, in the beginning, for the first time when they had cracked the jokes, you feel okay. This, and again, when you meet the person, again he will be telling you the same jokes. So they are the stale jokes. Stale, like basi. So you don't laugh at that. They are not spontaneous. So for that spontaneous, you have to learn exaggeration, like uh, exaggeration. All of you know to imagine things manifold. Then you should be able to make comparisons between two personalities, two situations, to create jokes. Then your non-verbal communication should also be like, the again, I'm telling you, the way you stand, the way you use your face, the way you make pauses. Like, if you're just telling a joke in a very monotonous manner, मालूम है कि आपको, फिर वो सरदार जी आया था, फिर उन्होंने ऐसा कहा, फिर हाँ, फिर ऐसा हुआ, फिर वो ऐसा बोल रहे थे, फिर so these things, if you're telling a joke in this way, if you're relating it in this way, it won't be effective. So your non-verbal communication, the way you use your face, the way you use your gestures, the way you stand, the way you where you take a pause, where you increase your speed, where you stop. So these are all the things which will come to you with observation. That is what educate yourself was there. You have to keep on learning. You have to observe people who are humorous. Stand-up comedians are there. You have to watch humorous shows. You have to be able to make some facial gestures, some facial, comic phases to add up to your comedy. And then you can be effective. So it is not just about verbal communication. It is not just about verbal, and that too, not in a monotonous way. The way you use your rising and falling tone, the way you use your pauses, the way you make eye contacts with people, the way sometimes you don't make eye contacts. Sometimes, you are very serious in some matters, and then you are delivering a joke that also has a very good effect. And sometimes
Ma'am,
you also laugh with the joke.
ma'am, your voice is very low.
My voice is very low. Is it coming?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Uh, I had moved far away, maybe that is why. Is it coming now? Am I
Yes, ma'am,
audible?
it's visible. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
yes,
Can I continue? So, spontaneous creativity is very, very important. We have learned the four aspects: element of surprise, confident and happy, observation and cynicism, and spontaneous creativity. Spontaneity is very important when you make or create a joke on the spur of a moment. So, that is very effective. And for anything, what you need is practice, repetition, and patience. Like whenever you have to develop something, you have to go on practicing. And again, what a mirror can give you, you have to practice before the mirror. But like what you can observe yourself, how your facial expression is, how your delivery is, and what kind of gestures you're making. And repetition, like repetition, not of the same jokes, but at home you can repeat to yourself certain lines, certain dialogues which you have learned, and the way you're delivering it, and patience for anything to click, for anything to learn, you need patience. So these are the things which you need for learning how to be humorous. You have to not just plan things very meticulously, but there should be an element of surprise. You should always be confident and happy. You should start observing people's situations, and you try to create spontaneous humor. And the one key which is there for everything is practice, repetition, and patience. Now, humor is like chutney. Like all of you have enjoyed chutney. Like what is it? Like CHUTNEY is in English, and that is a spelling. That is a kind of sauce they say. And CHUTNI is in Hindi. So in our food, we always have chutney. And how much is it? A little bit, one morsel or one spoonful, and we use it for our whole meal. And if we have more of that, what happens, if it is very, very chilly, and if you happen to use it more, of course your next day would be problematic. Now humor is like that life, very, very spiceful. It gives spice to your life. You look forward to have a person who is humorous. In a gathering, he is like this chutney, and you miss that person if he is not around. He will always diffuse the tensions, he will always make you laugh. Humor is like chutney, like his jokes, like one sentence which I found. His jokes were a chutney of laughter, hitting all the right notes. This is a review of a humorous person. This implies a well timed, like whenever you are humorous, again and again, I'm telling you, timing should be great. You sometimes watch a comedy show and all the jokes are very good, but they don't click because the timing is not good. Everywhere you need timing. If the batsman doesn't whirl his bat at the right time, he loses a shot and he can get clean bowled. In the same way, if your timing is not good, you can get clean bowled. If your timing of a joke is not well timed, you can get clean bowled. If you want to have a flavorful comedic delivery, then your timing should be very good. So his jokes were a chutney of laughter. People laughed at his jokes and he hit all the right notes. He was saying all the right things. Now, we have learned a few things about how to learn to become humorous. Now, today, if you decide, like today it is 15th of April, if you decide that, yes, I want to inculcate humor, then as I told you, you have to first find out whether you have the prerequisites for becoming a humorous person. Otherwise, it will be a vain, it won't give you the those that many fruits. But if you have those ingredients, then you can start working, and this will give you a very pleasant personality. This will give you a very impactful personality. Now, how to create impact, humor, when and where? The context is very important. It is also important to be aware of the situation. What is fine in certain situations will not be fine in others. This you have to understand. In which age group you are, yes, and in which social group you are. Like, if you are in a meeting with the doctors and if you're cracking jokes on doctors, I mean, that again, you are taking risk. But if the doctors happen to be your friends and if you are in an informal gathering on a out on a picnic, a joke or two on doctors would do. So the situation is very, very important. So where you're cracking a joke and how you're cracking, like we have one sir who at the end of the session, they he gives an open forum to the students. Come, try to imitate me, crack jokes on me. He's very, very fine with that. So at the end of the session, his last class is about that. Like, children, you come forward and you crack jokes on me, on the way I talk, just imitate me. So, if that full freedom is there, then the students can take this, of course, with a fine line and they can crack jokes. But then, when the class is going on, when everything is serious, and if you're trying to imitate someone, then you're crossing your line. So, you should be knowing where to crack jokes, about whom to crack jokes, and if a person is having some kind of serious deformity, and if you're trying to crack jokes on that, that is very, very unkind. So you have to know the context out of like everyone able to understand. So where you're cracking a joke, first you be aware. Aware. That is again, I'm telling you, brain should be very, very much aware. You should be aware, like where you are, with what people you are, what age group you are, and then you should crack your jokes in the flow of things with spontaneity. To avoid making mistakes, these are four areas you should uh, consider. Object. Who or what is the target or object of my humor, and will they be hurt by it? Yes. So, who is going to listen to my jokes? And if I'm making a joke, you have to sit. You have to first give a half a second and before delivering your joke, whether someone is going to hurt by it. I mean, you can make someone the butt of your joke, but it should be in a lighter vein. It should not be serious. You cannot be sarcastic about something. Sarcasm should be there, but it should be in a lighter vein. You're not trying to insult someone, you're not trying to humiliate someone. This is the care you have to take. Like, if someone is saying, How do I look in my dress? So you should be able, if you want to crack a joke, like your look and your relation with that person is very good, then you can say, oh, I think you're looking something like a tent. But then again, you have to consider whether what kind of relation you share with that person, and that person won't take it very seriously, and you are not risking your relation with that person. So what is the strength? What strength of feeling will this arouse, and is that appropriate in this group? Now, the kind of feelings, whenever you crack something, whenever you make a statement, there are certain feelings. What are the feelings that develop? Again, I'm saying whether they are positive, whether they are feelings of some kind of joke, whether they are feelings, and again, if there are negative feelings, if someone feels insulted, hurt, then those are not the feelings which you want to arouse. What you want to arouse is people make people happy, make people smile, even at the cost of someone. And again, that warning is there that that person should not feel humiliated or insulted. Who is the audience and who might be offended? When you're like a stand up comedian and when you're delivering, again, you have to be cautious. Who is your audience and who might be feel offended? Occasion, is this really the time and place for this joke? Like it's a birthday girl, so that day you have to spare that girl, even though you might get into your head that this can be the joke I can deliver. But then if that person is having some kind of special day, of course you have to leave that person for that time, even though that person might be close to you, even that person might be a special person for you, or you have that camaraderie with that person. But that, what is the special day, what is the special occasion? So you have to spare your joke for some other time, some other day. So when you are in a social group and you want to crack a joke, there are so many people who have fallen into this pit, and I have also fallen into that pit so many times, that sometimes the joke comes out so, automatically from your mouth, that it it doesn't allow us time to think and sift, and whether we should be telling that joke, or whether we should be cracking that joke, or whether we should be making that comment. But then we have to make ourselves aware, we have to make ourselves fall into that habit, that we have to think for at least half a second, and we have to understand what kind of social situation we are in, and where you are. Like you might go for a funeral, and human brain is such that there also you might get some ideas, but of course you need to shut up your mouth there. That social situation we have to consider, if you are a person who is full of empathy and sympathy. Now we come to our fifth point, like when we say that we should have a humorous personality. Now, why we should have a humorous personality? What that can give you? What is the bonus? What are the benefits? Like humor can contribute to more comfortable relationships. If you have a humorous personality, you can have more comfortable relationships. Now, how can that happen? Like, you're not comfortable with someone, or the situation might be that you are not comfortable, or today something has happened because of which you're not comfortable, that you might be not comfortable today with your colleague, or maybe the head of the institution, or maybe at home with your husband. But then if you have this streak of humor in your bone, then you can lighten the situation. You can make that person laugh. Of course, it might be on some other subject. You can change the subject, and then you can crack a joke or two on that other subject. Or you can just, in the flow of things, the way he's handling the papers, the way he's seeing, the way he's serious, you can crack a joke on that, and then you can make that person again, or that zone, comfortable for you to talk. too. Sometimes you can have an argument between two people in an office group too, in an office environment too. But if you have a personality which can take things lightly, then you can lighten that tension by cracking a joke on some third thing. If a peon enters suddenly, and then if you crack a joke on that peon, or if something happens, or if a call comes and if you crack a joke on that, instantaneously, spontaneously, then that can lighten the load between the both of you. It can give a boost for work life balance. Like it happens, many times what happens, and especially it happens with women, because outside in a social environment, we have to be very, very serious. We have to be very, very responsible. And then when we are back home, we relieve all the tension on our family members. But then we have, if we are able to be a humorous person at a workplace, if you're not taking too much of stress, if you're able to relieve our tension, if you are doing a work without taking any stress, if you're using these humor in between, like you have a meeting and you use humor, if you have discussing something very seriously and in between you use some punch lines, you use some humor, then that relieves attention. Your brain gets that recess. All of us have a recess, a lunch break. Your brain also needs that. It's working over time, and in between, it needs something to laugh. It needs something to relieve attention. And these one liners, these pithy sentences, these jokes in between, and that is why you love to be with your friends, because when you are with your friends you are very, very comfortable. You are able to crack jokes. There is no need to sift anything. Whatever comes to your mind you can speak out, so that is stress free. So once in a week we need to meet friends and we need to be humorous. We need to crack jokes all the time. We need to laugh, and that gives us all the energy for the rest of the week. So when even if you're writing an email, encourages people to use communications. Now, when you're communicating, what happens? Like if you're having a very stressful situation, like between two colleagues, and this the next day, they'll try to avoid each other, and that hampers intrapersonal relationships, interpersonal relationships. And there are so many things which you have to work on. Committees different, so that whatever you're doing in a college, in an institution, in an office, in a workplace can be successful. But if people stop talking to each other, if they're very serious, if they don't know how to lessen their tension with some sort of petty things, some joke on themselves or on others, and if they're not able to relieve these situations, they will become a serious group so full of tension, and that bomb can blast anytime, and that can do great damage to the institution. So, as a head of the institution and as different heads of different committees, what you have to look also is that you're relieving people of tensions with some one liners, some humorous things, some, even if you're giving them a deadline, try to give it in a humorous way and try to add some humor to it, and you can just keep the environment friendly. So people will start using communications. Even if an email is there for something, if you're using humor in it, then people would like to open your email, would like to communicate with you when they meet you for a meeting, when they meet you for some discussion. If you are having that element of communication, people will look forward to meet to you, and they won't feel that it will be full of stress, it will be full of tensions. So it increases meeting involvement. Like if a person from the management comes and he's all very serious, and he, what are you doing, this you've done, this not you're done. But in between, if that person, even though he's a president or a secretary, if he cracks a joke or two about something which has happened in the last meeting, or some person who was not there, oh, that person was not there for the last meeting. Oh, you found time to be for the meeting today. Even this thing, a one liner can help relieve the tension and everyone will laugh. Yes. And even if someone was on medical leave, you can say, oh, you good now? Okay, you're in the pink of health now. It seems you are good. You're looking good. Even these one liners can help you to relieve the tensions. increases memory of presentations. Like if you have presentations, if you're talking to someone, if you're giving a speech, and again, as I said, it shouldn't be very, very planned. It should come in the flow of things, it should be spontaneous. In the presentations also, if you're making people laugh, if you're making people jolly, if you're making them smile, then that presentation will remain in their memory for a long, long time. It is because of the joke. You know, you go to a wedding, what do you remember is the kind of food you had. Yes. So you go to a presentation, and what you remember is the jokes which were shared or the fun moments which were shared. So these are the things, which you have to be there in any presentation, in any meeting, even though it is serious. Some one liners, some pithy sentences should be there. And these humorous personalities should be there in a gathering who can relieve people of tensions, who can relieve or make the environment stress free. Right, you want to persuade someone, this is a very hard task. And if you want to like convince people of something, and you don't have patience, and if you have a high self ego, then that won't help. So it shouldn't be irritating if you're trying to pursue someone on some project or something. If again you're able to crack a joke or two, then that can relieve that irritation of saying things again and again. If you're saying the same things again and again, that can be irritating. So you can crack a joke or two on some third topic, on some another topic, and then you can come back to the thing. Like if you're talking something serious, and if your boss is not agreeing, or if your colleague is not agreeing, you can talk of some web series which you have seen, and you can talk of some joke which you liked, and you can relieve the tension. And again, unknowingly, then without your boss observing, without your colleague observing, you can come back to the situation, you can come back to what you were saying. It builds team unity, like we've seen in the last slide also. If you're a humorous person, what happens that people would like to talk to you. If you're a pleasant person, if you're just serious, if you're just giving deadlines, if you're just issuing orders, if you're just telling what to do, what not to do, what are the things you should do, you may be a great leader, you may be a great person, but who would like to work with you? You're all time serious, you are all time serious. Like you have that Mogambo खुश हुआ, but उसके चेहरे पे खुशी कभी नहीं दिखती थी. Mogambo खुश होना चाहिए. You boss should be happy. Boss should be happy. The colleague should be happy, and that happiness should be shown on the face. So that builds team unity. Everyone should feel that this is my team, this is my college, this is my institution, this is my office. And even though my boss is there, he doesn't think himself like a boss. He jokes with me. He shares a joke with me. When you share a joke with someone, that builds a great camaraderie. Like from the peon to the one person on the top, if you're sharing jokes, if you're having humorous situations, if you are enjoying those humorous situations, you will work like a team. And there are so many cultural divides in our own country. We have so many different cultures, and in a team, we have so many different people from different cultures, and this can come together because we have again our own problems. Like we can't go and immediately mingle with such people, but if again we have that sense of humor, we have this openness in our personality, if you're able to discuss these cultural things in a very happy and humorous ways, this can be able to bridge our cultural divides. And when you have humor, like I said, like your boss is cracking a joke with you, this can help equalize your relationship with your boss. You may feel okay, he's not just a boss, he is not just giving me orders, but he also understands and he's cracking a joke or two with me. So this helps to make an impression that your boss is full of humility. He's also human like me. He also likes to laugh. He also likes to crack a joke. He can smile. He can laugh. And this creates a feeling of equality, and this creates a feeling of responsibility for doing work for that person, for that organization. It exudes calmness and confidence. Like if you're a humorous person, if you're again, uh, like what I said, for humorous personality, you need to be happy, you need to be confident. Now, when you are happy, you're confident, you're calm. Even if something happens, you don't lose your composure. And other people who are very serious, or they are very very this I mean, they get helter skelter with whatever problems are there. If you are a humorous person, if you are calm, you are able to take stock of the things, and you're able to tell the gathering that it is not something which is very very serious. Hell has not let been loose. Like there's nothing which we cannot do. These are the things we have to sit. You can crack a joke or two on that situation, that and you can compare what last time had happened, and then you can tell the people that we will be able to manage this situation also. So only a humorous person will be able to take things lightly and will be able to maintain his calmness and confidence in such situations. Like suddenly, if you get a deadline, or if you're told that your management wants presentations from you, so some people, my God, I already have too many things to do, and now how am I going to make a presentation? What am I going to do? Oh my God. And what not? Yes. So if a person is humorous, he'll say, oh my God, what happened? I'll burn the midnight oil. I was burning the day oil. Now I'll burn the night oil too for doing these things. So you can deal with the situation. You can come out with one liners. You can come with some pithy sentences where you are able to give a message to a brain that whatever has happened has not had an effect on you, and you are able to take those things in a good stride. Now that creates a very good impression. When you are a humorous person, that creates a very good impression. Like again, as I said, in any social situation, or you can observe your own college, who is that person who is popular, a person who is humorous, who cracks a joke or two, who can lighten the situation. I think this is there in any group. Now, what can humor do? Like many, we are always there exposed to criticism, but with humor, we are able to handle that criticism, that harsh criticism, without any offense. We are able to take that criticism in a stride. And if that situation is there, you can even relate it or say something funny. And of course, you have to follow it, that I will remember and I will try to correct myself, or whatever follies were there, I will try to correct myself. But whatever criticism was there, you should be able to take in your stride. And when can you do it? If you have a humorous personality, if you have humor, if your brain is again confident, your brain is again active, has the presence of mind to work in any situation, then it will always present you on a platter something funny to come out of that situation. So allow things to be said that are otherwise too heavy or difficult for the conversation, because they can be said more lightly. A joke can often tell a difficult truth. Sometimes, you have to tell someone something, but it is very difficult to say many a times about very serious persons, or many obese persons. Or you can crack a joke or two, and then that message goes that this is what that person wants to say. A joke can often tell a difficult truth. So if the dress doesn't suit anyone, there are so many people, they try new dresses, but if the dress doesn't go, if you crack a joke, maybe that person will realize that okay, this is what that joke intends, in a very light way, that has been told to me that, okay, this is good, you have worn it for the first time, but maybe these are not the kind of dresses which go with your personality. Get to the heart of what matters in a very gentle and subtle way. Humorous people, they handle things in a very gentle and subtle way. They don't become serious. They always allow people to, or situations to, be stress free. They don't allow the situations to go out of hand. Now, what is the risk? Many a times we may crack a joke. Again, I'm saying that it might be in a social situation. Like, you have to understand where you're cracking jokes, with whom you're cracking jokes, but still, after taking so many risks, it might happen that you might create a flat joke or someone is offended, or you say a joke and nobody laughs. And sometimes only people laugh just because they have to laugh, just because they want to be formal with you, but you understand that they're not laughing from their heart. It's a flat joke, or someone has been offended. At that time you should be able to take it in your stride, and if you have offended someone, immediately you should make genuine apologies then and there. If you feel that you have offended someone, you have gone overboard with your joke, which you didn't intend. So, learning is a continuous process, as I said, and like a scooter, unless and until you tick or kick it, it won't start. In the same way, you will learn to become a humorous person, but unless and until you start sharing those jokes or one liners, whatever you've learned in a social gathering, you won't learn because that stage is there, that thing is there waiting for you. But that practice or the feedback which you get from your audience is important. Maybe your first few jokes will go flat. Maybe your first few jokes will go wrong. But after sharing those jokes, after
Hello, Snehal madam.
Yes, ma.
Um, Suchita
Yeah,
ma'am has left. Is there any technical issue?
I think there is a technical issue.
Okay.
Students, just stay with us. There is a technical issue. Very soon, our resource person will join us.
Okay, ma'am.
Anybody listen me? The meeting is over.
Yes, student, just due to technical issue. No, no, the meeting is not over. Still, our resource person is presenting PPT. Just stay with us.
Okay, ma'am.
Just give few minutes.
Yes,
Hello,
yes,
Suchita ma'am?
Suchita ma'am, your screen is visible.
Yes. Can I,
Yeah.
yes. Can I start? When did I, on which slide
The
was
same
I on
slide
this
is going
slide?
on. No, no,
This
later
is the
on. The
last
slide.
slide. I was,
Yes.
yeah. This was the slide where I
Yes, ma'am.
broke.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So I'll just finish with this slide, and that is the last slide.
Okay, ma'am.
Hmm. याचं व्हॉल्यूम वाढून देतो अजिंक्य व्हॉल्यूम कमी Okay, I'm so sorry with that because as my laptop didn't have the required mic volume, I'm doing this on my tab.
It's okay, ma'am.
I hope I'm audible now.
Yes, madam.
Okay. So this is the last slide, and uh, whenever you are trying to become a humorist, it's a very gradual process. It doesn't happen overnight. So what you have to do is like a scooter, you have to kickstart it. Unless and until you kickstart it, it doesn't work. In the same way, you have to start not just learning, but to deliver your jokes on the in the social platforms, in the social scenarios, because unless and until you deliver, you might not get feedback. Like when you learn a dance, you go and perform it on the stage, and then you learn like to take feedback, and then you learn to enhance your work. In the same way, when you want to become a humorous person, it doesn't happen overnight. You learn your jokes, you learn your plannings, of course you practice before your mic, but you have to actually go on the stage, and your stage is not just for 1 hour, or your learning is not just for 1 hour. That 1 hour you're going to learn humor, like you learn your English, economics, political science, but you have to learn 24 by 7. You have to observe people, situations, and then you have to compare, you have to prepare your own jokes in your mind, you have to prepare those dialogues. And of course education is important, and education in the sense that it should be panoramic. You should know something of sports, you should know something of medicine, you should know something of political science, economics, and everything. Because when you want to go in into any group, and if they're discussing sports, you should be able to crack a joke or two on that. If you are having knowledge of economics, and if they are discussing the budget, you should be able to crack a joke on that. So politicians are there, they are such a good directory for creating jokes. And there are actors, actresses, there are web series. Of course you have to go on educating yourself by going through all those videos of stand-up comedians, by learning through comic movies, how they deliver, what kind of act they do, what kind of facial expressions they make. And even if your joke falls flat in the beginning, you should be able to take it in your stride, and you should be able to make genuine apologies. Like you might, your joke might backfire, you might humiliate someone in the process, but don't lose time. You have to make genuine apologies immediately. Yes. So that is what you have to do. And this is what are all the ingredients which are needed to become a humorous personality. Keep reading, keep just not just trying to gather things about becoming humorous, try to practice it and use your stage 24 by 7, your college, your roommates, your colleagues, and everyone to create jokes and try to get honest feedback from them and try to make every day a learning lesson and try to become a humorous personality. Again, I would like to leave on the note that because if you're a humorous person, you are doing a great social service because you're trying to relieve this world of tensions. Many of our ailments are because of our stress, our sugar, our blood pressure, our everything is because of our stress. And if you're able to relieve that, if you're going to make people laugh, be happy. If you're going to relieve them of their stress, you're doing a great social service. So, along with becoming a humorous person, you're going to be a very good social server. So, educate yourself and try to become a humorous person. Best of wishes to all. I would again like to thank the organizers for contacting me and giving me a chance to present this on this very great topic dear to my heart, how to become a humorous person. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an informative and knowledgeable session.
Ma'am, please stop your screen sharing. Marathi,
Right,
ma'am.
I'll do that. Mm, can
Thank you
go
so much, ma'am, for such an
back to
informative
the
and knowledgeable
meeting.
session.
1 second, Snail, ma'am.
Yes. Hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Madam, few points have noted down like five dimensions which describes one's personality, the crucial role of humor in one's life, how it is essential to use humor in proper time and situation. Also, how to develop humorous qualities or how to learn it, how to be spontaneous to create joke with proper gesture, benefits of a humorous personality, etc. All have added in knowledge our students will undoubtedly benefit from. Your expertise and thoughtful approach made a lasting impression, and we sincerely appreciate the time and effort you dedicated to enriching our academic environment. Thank you once again, madam. Dear students, if you have any question, you can ask now or drop the question in chat box.
No question, ma'am. It is a wonderful topics that, ma'am, everything, and I can understood the humorous personality, how become a the humorous getting in our life, and how to make. I want to say that I make a very क्या बोलेंगे उसको I
Okay, Rafia, ma'am, we can understand your emotions actually. From your
Hmm.
emotions, we come to know that you are fully satisfied.
satisfied, ma'am. And ma'am, I
Yes.
think I getting with ma'am. There is a atmosphere is become a happiness. I think, uh, and make some noises and make fun everyday life, and we should share the uh, with our friends, our family members, and our relatives. It may be it's very necessary to become a humorous personality. I think that is
Yeah, well said. Well said, mom. Well said.
thank you, ma'am. I'm trying to
Well said.
say it fluently, but it is, but that's fine.
It's okay,
I'm,
mom. It's okay.
I know, but day by day, I'm listening you. My confidence is also increased day by day. Thank you so much, ma'am, all of you. It's
Thank you,
my
Rafia,
pleasure.
mom. Shall we proceed, mom?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay. So now it's the time for a formal vote of thanks of today's session. Once again, good morning, everyone. As we wrap up today's session, I would like to take a moment to thank everyone for your active engagement and participation. Today has been a wonderful learning experience, and I'm sure we have all gained valuable insights into enhancing our soft skills. Once again, thank you to the cluster organizations, their principals, and the team of coordinators for successfully organizing such a great platform. Let's take what we have learned today and continue to apply it in our daily lives. Remember, the journey of personal and professional growth is continuous and each step forward counts. Dear, we look forward to welcome you back tomorrow for the next exciting session, and we will dive even deeper into another essential aspect of soft skill, that is art of saying no without guilt by Sudesh Bhakti sir, and I'm sure you will find it just as enriching and engaging as today's. Well, thank you once again for being with us and see you tomorrow with more zeal and excitement. Till then, have a great time ahead. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Marathi ma'am. Thank you for your
Thank
valuable
you so
time
much.
sharing here. Thank you
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much for inviting me over. Thank you.